Wins. It's a great opportunity. I think there's definitely been some excitement with our players having to come back from spring break early and get some practice in. I think our kids need experience. That's the biggest thing we're excited about is they'll get a chance to experience postseason play. Our young kids will get some more games where they can, continue to grow and develop as players. So, it's just nice to be one of, you know, 128 teams that are still playing.
On media day, one of the first things Paris said was that she wants to go out with some of the WNIT year postseason.
Mm-hmm.
How nice is to see the seniors out with that postseason?
It's really nice. It's really nice, especially for this group of seniors who, Ty and Meredith have really given a lot to the program. Meredith more so this year, but Ty over the course of her career, they've really put in a lot of work. This year they've put in a lot of work from a leadership perspective, from, being, the kind of the steadiness of this team this year, and, trying to hold the ship steady while the young kids were learning their way and, getting their confidence and getting their experience. So it's really nice for them to have this experience, to be the class, to be the group that's, led our turnaround and getting back to a program that competes in postseason play.
And then how nice is it they get to at least play one more home game, especially after spending that time?
Oh, they were very excited to know that we were hosting. They were like, yes, we get a chance to redeem ourselves, so to speak. And I think that'll be good for them, to get a chance to play in front of our home fans at least one more time and, hopefully put on a good showing.
It'll be almost 2 weeks between games.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned that your team might lose some of its edge that it had coming out of the Big Ten tournament?
That's always the danger. But I feel like our practices have been pretty intense, pretty competitive. So, we'll see how they are. I think they're ready to play. I think at the time after the Big Ten season, it was good to get a little bit of a break. They got to go home for a few days and kind of rejuvenate, so to speak, mentally. And now I think they're back ready and itching and ready to go to play some games. They're sick of practicing. I know that.
With the bracket coming out late last night, how soon did you start preparation for Oxford?
Last night.
Late last night?
Late last night. We had a couple games that we were able to watch. But, at this point, and, a team like Hofstra that didn't play on TV a lot, so, some of the games were from early in the season. And, that's the thing. You don't know what teams have put in since you were able to see them on film. Most conferences have the, rule that you can't send out conference games for scouting purposes. So, we'll do the best that we can.
What stands out about Oxford right now?
They work hard. They're a team that's scrappy, that just works extremely hard. They play hard. They play good defense. They rebound the ball well, but they're just a hard-nosed team.
Their forward was one of the best players in the CAA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is your take on what you saw from her?
I think the same thing that I said earlier. She's kind of like Star Allen that played at Ohio State last year. Maybe an undersized post player, but she makes up for what she lacks in size with aggressiveness, with assertiveness. She's got great hands, and she's a great rebounder, and she's tough and physical on the block. So even though she's a tad bit undersized, she makes up for that with her how hard she plays, and she's just got a nose for making a knack for making baskets and scoring around the bucket.
What have you guys been focusing on during the practices?
Defense, rebounding, getting out and scoring in transition, competing. That's a big thing, competing and playing hard the whole time we're on the floor. And quite honestly, those are the kind of things you have to work on when you don't know who you're playing. You're not really focusing on a specific game plan or a specific opponent, but just getting back to the foundation, the fundamental things that, sometimes when you get bogged down in game preparation and during the conference season, maybe, and you're practicing a little bit less time in practice to save legs and whatnot. Some of those things you kind of have to get away from a little bit. So just going back to that, fundamentals, defense, rebounding, making easy baskets, scoring easy baskets.
And after the break, you know, do you think the kids were as focused when, you know, their future was uncertain?
I thought we came back and they were pretty focused. You know, they were hopeful that we would get a bid, and you know, I felt fairly, you know, I don't want to say, I felt fairly confident that we should get a bid. So we prepared and practiced as if we were going to play.
You see the 4 Big Ten teams in the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any, you know, maybe second guessing on your part as to how close you guys could have been to that?
Nah, you know, you don't. I mean, we knew all along. You know, we knew all along that we needed to win probably 2 games at a minimum in the Big Ten tournament. You know, 3 would have been great. So we kind of knew all along that getting in the NCAA tournament was a long shot, and I think every team in the country that does not make it to the NCAA tournament looks back over their season and goes, man, if we would have did this, if we would have did that, if we could have taken care of business here or there. But you know, it is what it is. We're excited to be in the, you know, in the postseason. We're excited to play in the NIT. The teams that have played in the history of the NIT shows that, the women's NIT shows that, you know, teams that go in and play well and play competitive, you know, generally, you know, it's a good springboard for the next season for a better season. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for us. We need the games. Looking at the bracket, it's going to be a very competitive tournament. A lot of good teams in it, a lot of teams that are well coached, good athletes, good players. So this is going to be a very, I think, a very exciting tournament, and we're proud to be a part of it.
With the expansion from 48 to 64 this year, it seems like, you know, especially with you guys, the way the bracket's set up, I mean, you could possibly face Atlanta at Delaware,
Mhm.
Shante Evans.
Mhm.
Do you think that the talent this year is just pretty remarkable for
I really honestly haven't thought that deeply about it, because I'm really only thinking about Hofstra. So, and you know, you can look all over the bracket, and I mean, I don't know who we're going to play. I don't know who we're going to play after we beat Hofstra. You know, we got to beat Hofstra and then see what happens. So I don't really get off into all the possibilities and potentials. Looking at the bracket, I think it's a very competitive bracket, and it's going to be some great basketball, some great matchups, and you know, we're going to focus on what we have to do and take care of our quadrant of the bracket. I thought we did some good things. You know, I thought we played well against Minnesota. Got back to playing defense and rebounding the way we had been earlier in the season. I thought Nikki Green was a big presence for us against Minnesota, and I thought we played well against Iowa. You know, Iowa just was hot at the right time, and I'm happy to see them get into the NCAA tournament, because you know they're a very good team. And when they're shooting the ball as well as they shot it in the Big Ten tournament, as Michigan State and Ohio State both saw, they're a tough team. They're going to be a tough out. They shot the ball very well, especially the second half against us. Scored the ball well, got to the free throw line. I mean they were clicking on all cylinders. And sometimes a team just, you know, when a team is hot like that, it's hard to hold them down. And they were playing well at the time. They were playing well coming into the tournament, and so I'm happy that we competed. I'm happy that we played hard. We got back to playing our brand of basketball. Just on Friday, just wasn't quite enough to get a hot shooting in a very good Iowa team.
Have you or any of the players talked to any of these players or Coach Jones about their success last year?
Have not. You know, again, it's been a busy morning with us preparing for Hofstra right away. So, really just leaving the dungeon right now to come talk to you folk. But been pretty holed up all morning in preparation.
Do you know if any of the players
I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. I'm sure they'll be talking to the guys. I know one thing that happened last year, when the men were on their NIT run, the campus and the community there was just such a positive and warm buzz about the team and about their success in the NIT and what was going on. And at that time, our kids were thinking, man, that's so cool. Wish we could be a part of that. Wish we could be a part of postseason play. And that energy, that experience, they were at the games here and they were, watching the arena filled with people cheering them on and the whiteout and all that. And they wanted that same experience. And we used that as fuel in the off season and even during the year. Like, we want to be in postseason play. We want that same experience. So I'm sure they'll talk to the men about how much fun they had and how great it was. But I know experiencing it last year was definitely, an inspiration for our team.
Some coaches have spurred this tournament, and they say people make it to the NCAA. It's not what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts?
My thought is it's a great postseason tournament. It's competitive, especially this year, going with 64 teams, and it's an opportunity to keep playing and keep learning and keep growing for our team. And again, we've got a young team, and they need to play. They need the experience, and this is an opportunity for us to play some good basketball against good competition, and continue the learning curve for our team.
Do you see, since you guys are hosting next year, obviously being in the tournament, do you see that this type of experience and the way the brackets laid out is a good, maybe a forerunner to where you go next year?
Media people, I love you guys. You guys think so far in the future. I just want my kids to eat breakfast tomorrow before practice. I haven't. We don't think that far in advance in terms of what this could mean for. We got a game on Thursday, and we want to get better. We want to be competitive. We want to play hard, and then see what happens after that. And philosophically, will this help us for next year? I hope so. I hope so. But there's so much basketball walk between now and the first and second round of the NCAA tournament in 2011, and we're just really not there yet. But thanks for asking.
Can I ask you a question about rules? Because I've watched a lot of basketball.
Sure.
And things. There have been a lot of times when Penn State players, Lady Lions, have been called for traveling.
Mm-hmm.
For the life of me, I cannot figure out how the women are constantly called for traveling.
Mhm.
Men travel night after night after night, particularly the time of play with tire out.
The spin move. What they came in on the first day of practice and told us the spin move was an illegal move and it was an automatic travel. Okay. Then you go into the game. Sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't. So I got nothing for you.
Anything else for the police?
Yeah, Chris, you've seen steady improvement with the last 3 years you've
Mhm.
been in the season, 16, 19, this is a 12. Is that on track for what you may have thought about when you got here? Would you like to go a little further along and
I'm happy with where we are, especially in the sense that we're trending upward. Now, I would have liked to go from 10 to 1. That's just me. But the reality is you have to, your progress is dependent on your players. Your progress is dependent upon how quickly, especially when you have a young team, how quickly they adapt, how quickly they adapt to college, how quickly they adapt to the responsibilities of being an adult, being on their own, and taking ownership and accountability over their lives and over their basketball lives. So, I would have loved for some things to happen faster, but I'm also patient and understand that, we're trending upward. We're getting better. There are a lot of things that happened our first year and our second year that wasn't reflective in the win-loss column, but that showed to me we were making the progress that we needed to make. And, similarly this year, I'm pleased with a lot of the progress that we've made as individual players. I'm pleased with the progress that we've made as a program. And, we're going in the right direction. We're going in the right direction, and I'm happy with where we're going and the way the program is going, and looking forward to next year. I think the kids that we have coming in next year are going to continue to add to the competitiveness. They're going to add talent. They're going to add a work ethic and some of the intangibles that are necessary, to continue to play in the postseason and go farther in the postseason and then hopefully be in the NCAA tournament. Thank you.